about how to do bibliographies, how to do citations, and I suspect, now Win is not here, is that right? Win is, your Win, I'm so sorry. And I understand, oh goodness, the citations. Understand that you teach Zotero? Is that right? Yeah, cool. Okay, so if you are in the linguistics department, there's a course that you have on Zotero, and so I do want you to hear that what I'm going to present is going to be complementing, not contradicting what Win is saying. Okay. So in most libraries these days, you can have access to a program called EndNote, and if you this is probably not the case here, but there's this place in town called Punta Plaza, and if you want to know more about that, then I will be happy to fill you in. So many of the functions that Zotero does, I mean, I don't know what the similarities and differences between Zotero and EndNote are. Okay, but let's talk about Google Scholar, and in the course of doing that, I'm going to make some comments about EndNote. Okay, so tell me something that you were interested in. Let's just look around here. We've done neuroscience. Is there a key word that someone would like to? Should we go fishing? Should we go fishing? Woohoo! Let's sociolinguistics. Okay, so a few comments. There are a number of programs freely downloadable that will suck down a Google book. If it is out of copyright, you can download Google Book in its entirety. Now, I'll just make myself a note here. There's another website that I'll tell you about, and that's archive.org. Okay, so let's do this. Academia.edu, here we go. I'm going to start a new library because I've got my own library here, and I'm going to go new library, and this is going to be called, no, that's not open library, I'm going to make a new library. And I'm going to go in the desktop and Payap. Now, I will be talking to you about the advantages of just having one library. Okay, so let's go back to this book here. Okay, so I'm going to right click and I'm going to open it up on a new tab. And this is going to take me to, oh no, we want to go to the Google Book. Okay, so I'm going to open another tab and I'm going to go to Google Books. Now, sociolinguistics. Now, what is going on here? Am I not on the internet anymore? Okay, let me just work this out, sorry. Sociolinguistics. Now, I'm not sure what's going on. Let me just check, okay, here we go. So now we're in Google Books. Now, particularly for Google Books that are edited volumes. So you know the difference between a monograph and an edited volume. A monograph is a single authored book, it's telling the story. There are other books which are edited volumes, and often it is the case that edited volumes will have a thematic essay that will synthesize the contributions, and you may get the first one or two chapters. So what you can do, and again this is going back to access, what you do is you copy the URL and you put it into one of these programs which are dedicated Google Book downloaders. Choose PDF and then press save. And you will be astounded that often this program will download as many as like 100 pages of these books. The other thing which I would like to see, so I've just got about 50 pages from this book. Okay, so that's what I've managed to download. Okay, now many of the techniques that I'll be introducing you to relate to Adobe's dedicated PDF program. If you use Adobe Reader, get rid of it. If you're wanting to be a serious academic and if you're wanting to maximize working with PDFs, right now go and delete the free reader and find a way of downloading Adobe Acrobat Pro. Adobe Acrobat Pro is to academics what Lightroom or Photoshop is to photographers, is what Final Cut Pro or Premiere Pro is to people who do video editing. And if you want to play and if you just want to read, then by all means stick with the reader. But the reader is intended to be something which allows you to read. But I purposely use the words manipulating the electronic literature in the title, because this is what we need to do. So, I have just downloaded this book, and so what I will now do is I will go to, here it is, and I'm going to open this up in Adobe Acrobat Pro. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to OCR it. You'll see, and you'll have this all the time, you'll see, you want to copy text, and when this happens, the PDF has not been OCR'd. OCR stands for Optical Character Recognition. Now, everyone's with me, right? Am I going too fast? You need to give me some feedback. Am I going too fast here? Okay, good. So what you do, after you've downloaded PDF, check to see whether it's been OCR'd. If it hasn't been OCR'd, then you press Recognize Text, and you've got to get your computer to crunch it through. You will find that when you begin to use your computer as a tool, not a toy, that you will discover that perhaps you need to consider upgrading your computer to one which has a faster processor, or you might want to consider increasing the RAM, because you are going to be doing a number of tasks that are going to be processor and RAM hungry. Now, I'm afraid I use some of these terms, IT terms, a little loosely, because quite frankly, I'm a little confused about where the issues are, but I do know that at times when I've upgraded, I'm finding that I have been able to do tasks a lot faster, and my computer doesn't appear to struggle as much as it has. Okay, so if I did not have the reader, if I only had the reader and I didn't have Adobe Acrobat Pro, I wouldn't be able to do this. And if I wasn't able to do this, then I wouldn't be able to do anything more than just to read what I've done. I'll talk more about, so this is our shopping list. I'll be talking a bit more about scanning and about OCR and about highlighting.
Chris?
Yeah.
You said Adobe Reader only allows you to read. Adobe Acrobat Pro allows you to also what?
Manipulate. So in Adobe, okay, so first of all, I haven't used the Reader for a long time, and I think that the present Reader has got more functions from the Reader that I used to use like 10 years ago, okay? But still there are a number of very, very important functions without which I really, seriously, I'm under no illusions that it would be very difficult for me to be able to do as much as I do if I didn't have the software. So I think that the new version of the Reader allows you to highlight and annotate, and you can print out annotations as a summary and highlights as a summary at the end, but the Adobe Acrobat Pro allows you to do all the cracking, all the OCRs. It allows you to export. So for example, I'm able to take a PDF that has a beautiful map, so a language map of the Southern Philippines, for example, or Nagaland, showing all of the ethnic kind of mosaics about Chin and all the different, I'm not a specialist in that part of mainland Southeast Asia. But with Adobe Acrobat Pro, what I can do is when I do come across a high quality map, I can go to the PDF. I can do this. I think this is probably done by now. Yeah, it's done. So what I can do, let's have a look and see if there's a nice graphic here. No, there isn't. But I like the cover. Do you like the cover, Zubair? Do you like red?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Good taste. Good taste. Okay. Oh, come on. Okay, so what I do is I go here. I go there. I extract a page. And then what I can do is I can save as a TIFF file. Now I can go to the settings and I can specify that I want a high quality TIFF file. I go save. Okay, so now I go back to Finder. No, where did that go? Where did I save it to was the question. Pages from, and I go back here. So there's the TIFF file, and then I can drag it into Photoshop. And I can crop it. Well, let's just do this. You can crop it. And I can edit it. I can play with the contrast. I can play with the highlights. I can put text in it. Okay, you can do all this with. So one of my interests is visual anthropology and cartography, and so whenever I come across a beautiful old book from archive.org and it's got a lovely old map, then what I can do is I can easily appropriate that stuff, okay? So, if you haven't got Adobe Acrobat Pro, and if academia is going to be a career, not just a hobby, then if you feel that you need to buy it, then by all means do so. But I'll talk more about Adobe. But we're still talking about acquisition. Okay, so one of the reasons, so just to summarize, Google Scholar will alert you to academic literature. So you're not going to get blogs, you're not going to get things, you know, if you go to Google, you're going to get all sorts of random Rogers kind of backyard kind of philosophers. Some of this, nothing, it hasn't been peer reviewed. This is just someone who is angry and now is able to kind of disseminate his uninformed ideas. Google Scholar will concentrate on, it will index all of the databases that you would get if you had access to a library. And so when you go to a library, you log into a library, you can access databases, so you can specify specific areas. So this is a very powerful thing. But what does this button do? Let's do this. When I press cite, so in every hit in Google Scholar, so you can see that this is a Google book, okay, it's Google Books. Regardless of whether it's a Google book or a citation, you will see that there is cite here, okay? I'm not going to tell you about, you know, the related articles, because these are some of the things that you can learn afterwards. But, and it is something that I've only recently got onto, but you will see that when I've downloaded a piece of bibliography software, that's not a very good example, let's go back here. Okay, so here I can maybe copy the reference. What do you use here? Do you use your citation system? Do you follow APA or
probably moving to APA from the style used by one of the main linguistics students, LSM.
Okay, so you're heading towards APA, you think? Okay, sure. Okay. So here are these are some of the most